Hey everyone, it is Tasha here from Namastasha, and I just wanted to talk about day one of my Theta healing workshop. Um, basically, I don't know, leading up to it, I've had a lot of stuff come up with school, really busy schedule, lots thrown my way. But I really wanted to do this workshop this weekend because I really feel like it could help me. Um, So basically today we had a 3-hour class, and I was very engaged, very interested the whole time. Um, and I don't know, my symptoms right now, my IC, my IBS, and all that stuff, they seem to be like pretty calm. My skin has broken out. I'm still wearing makeup right now, but you can kind of see um, not the best. So I'm really interested because she was talking about how your cells can regenerate really quickly with this workshop. So she said that after she done a workshop back in July, June, she felt like her arms were all like wobbly and jelly-like and whatever, and so she went to her doctor to go figure that out, and she got a blood sample done, and she had like through the roof vitamin B12. So usually people need to get a lot of like injections in order to get really high B12 levels. But she had that, and it's actually B12, vitamin B12 is really good for cellular regeneration. So that was pretty cool that she talked about that. So I'm kind of interested to see how my skin does, how my symptoms do, and to see if I have like more cell turnover like quicker. We were given this Theta Healing book by Vienna, and I have yet to go through it. We kind of just have this binder talking about everything, and there's just so many things. We're going really quickly, so it's hard for me to even like talk about it still, because basically we're going to be getting these downloads from Creator, and how they're downloaded is it's instantaneous in the mind, but when we go to sleep, then we're able to actually absorb what we're being told, what we're being taught. So yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see. We did do a little practice run with people in the class today. So when I did a little body scan of someone, she was actually able to feel me entering her, like she felt like a pain in her head, and then when I was leaving her body, kind of a pain in her pelvis. So that was kind of interesting. And the only thing I noticed with her was like a stomach thing, and so I said that to her, and she's actually had like an upset stomach because she ate pizza before coming, so she was kind of gassy and stuff. So it'll be interesting to once these downloads take place, and I'm able to kind of tap into the energy a little bit more to see. But yeah, this is day one of a 3-day workshop. So yeah, it'll be really interesting. There's a couple other cool things that happened. There was one lady in the class, I think her name was Anastasia, and I think she was from the Ukraine, or like she was from some other country. Like English wasn't her first language. And in her country, the books are read like from right to left, whereas we read left to right. So her binder, the one that she picked, was actually like backwards, so it was the way she would read it in her country. So no one else had the binders like that. She didn't even know that Crystal, the person who was teaching us. That was like really like interesting to have that kind of experience go on. And I just heard other people talking about how they had stuff kind of come up, and Crystal had put out this kind of like buffer, so if people weren't ready for the workshop, they wouldn't come. Only people who were ready would be there. So I think it's time. I think it's time to like get some healing on, guys. So I will make more videos keeping you guys updated of what's going on. I'm hoping to kind of figure out how to blend all these together and keep these updated, but I don't really know how to work like iMovie or anything. So this is on Photo Booth, and I'll see if I can do that for you guys so I can make kind of a flowing video of every day and see what happens. So I will talk to you guys again soon. Namaste. Hey everyone, it is Tasha here from Namaste, and I'm going to talk to you about day 2 of Theta healing. So, oh man, I don't know, there was so much, and I know for me last night I had trouble falling asleep, so it was like 2 a.m. I think I got to sleep at, and I was up at 7 to get ready and go to the workshop. So, and I felt like when I woke up, it was like my brain was thinking all night, and I think it was I know it's from all the different downloads and everything being processed, because we are all organic computers. So, and holding those belief systems in us and changing it, it takes a while for us to process. So, so when we're sleeping, that's a big time when we do process that, because we can get into the theta brainwave. So what did I learn today? Geez, like so much. I know for me, 2 different times during the class, I was thinking of Jessica and I was thinking of Sarah, just because of certain things that came up, stuff about energy and sharing it with others and what that can be like. So when we drink or do drugs or any of that stuff that kind of makes you feel like loosey-goosey, you're actually like taking down your auric field, and that's what makes you feel so good to like get along with people. It makes you maybe feel a little less lonely because you're connecting in with everybody else, because you literally are taking away your auric field from doing that. So the problem with that, though, is that you can let in other entities, spirits, good or bad, and so that can kind of, mess with you for a little bit. And especially if you have some soul loss, then it can come and, move into those spaces. So just like how when I move my hand, there's where my hand was, and like air moves into that space. So, so that is what can happen with our soul. So when we have soul loss, maybe like a time when you feel empty, time when you have trauma, stuff like that, then we can take on different energy, different souls, but sometimes that's filled in with like other parts of ourselves, like our vital energy source. So, and that kind of made me think of Jessica, just because of something she told me about her meditating with her wife. So very interesting that, taking on other people's energies, how easy that can be, how we can be influenced by that. Another thing, so with Sarah, when I was reminded of her, was due to psychic attacks. And I mean, this goes for everyone, because it happened to everyone has done it to other people, and it's basically when you're thinking a certain thought or towards a person, and it's like sending hate to someone, and you're not even intentionally doing it. You're just like, oh my gosh, I hate that girl, like, look at her hair, look at this, look at that, she thinks she's so great, or whatever. And you're actually sending thoughts, energy to her in a negative way, so that can create this psychic attack. So I know for myself, I've been bullied. I know for myself that certain people in my life have been very like judgmental of me, and if you don't protect yourself from those psychic attacks, then it can have an effect on your energy. So there's one way to deal with that, and that is through theta healing. Or not, there's not one way, but another thing is try to make your aura strong. So before you drink, before you maybe go into like Superstore, Walmart, whatever, a place of where there's lots of different energies around, is to zip up your aura. So so I learned this trick. So it's your right hand facing out, and so your left hand's facing in towards you, and you rub these together, and this is to like fix your polarity, sorry, and then so right is out and over, and then you push the left out, so that kind of zips up. So so that was pretty cool. What else did I notice? Okay, well, we did some healings for practice with people, and there's 4 different places where energy can, or like belief patterns can come from. So one is the heart, or I believe that one's the core. Another one is like the shoulders and neck, and that's from like history through society and stuff like that. So what society has taught you to believe. Another one is the front, which is, you know what? Sorry, heart is the soul. The frontal lobe is the core, and then on the back of your head, that's genes or DNA that come from your family. So when I was doing this healing on this lady, right away I started feeling my heart fluttering. So I was kind of like attracted to that and like what's going on with the heart, and fixing that. Um, so I kind of tried to do a healing all over, to do all 4 levels at once, but that wasn't working. Like I kept feeling, okay, I need to go back to the heart. So first I focused on the heart, then I started to feel pain in my shoulders and neck. So then, I healed her history beliefs from that, so specifically that one. And then I started to feel pain in my forehead, so I went to her core beliefs and healed those. And this was towards like not feeling loved and self-sabotaging and having fear of accepting that love in her life. And then I felt the pain in the back of my head. So, and then basically after I'd cleared all those different levels for her, I asked Creator, because we go up and we talk through God, Creator, whatever you want to call it, the universe, energy, Buddha, whoever you want to label it as. And I asked, is the healing done? And I got a like ding. So I was told, okay, yeah, good to go. But before I, tuned out, I was like, is there anything else you want to work on today? And she said, no, I think I'm good. So we ended that healing. So I definitely was able to feel it in my body, certain places, and recognize those things. Other than that, like we had some really cool talks about waywards, which is like human spirits that haven't passed on yet. They're kind of like in that middle, purgatory type realm, in between, whatever you want to call it. And then we also talked about like fallen spirits. So that was like weird stuff, like stuff dealing with like demons and dark angels and things like that. And I actually remember that I did have an experience about 2 years ago when I was very intoxicated, and I did feel like a dark winged, black spirit coming down to me to attack me. And I was like, holy shit. And I remember telling my boyfriend, I'm like, oh my god, there's something coming after me right now. And he was like, no, like don't think that, you're okay. But looking back now, I'm like, holy crap, like I actually have experienced like being attacked by a dark spirit of some sort. I don't know what it was, I don't really have a label for it, but I do remember that. And so that'll be interesting to kind of see if there's any attachment of that still in my spirit holding me back, making it so that I'm unhappy and not manifesting the things that I want in my life, and maybe holding on to illness in some way, because that might serve it, and keeping my energy low and feeding off me, something like that. I don't know. But anyways, I'll end off with like the light thing that we talked about at the end, rather than ending this with darkness. So we talked about connecting with angels. So basically this was a different thing, like different meeting up with different client, whatever, with partners. And I was able to like tell like his angel's name, and I asked if there was a message, and so I gave him the message that it was to trust himself and to love his daughter. And then I asked for proof. So I was like, have you ever had a truck? Like, did you have a truck at some point in your life? Was it blue or red? And he was like, yeah, when I was younger. So that was kind of cool to experience that. But definitely a learning curve with it, definitely more to learn tomorrow, and I'm like super excited. I am still like pretty high energy considering I barely got any sleep. I have drank coffee today, so we'll see how like my symptoms do from that. I did try to heal that too, actually, because I was able to test on myself if I felt that coffee caused me pain, and to help release that and not have that belief in that. So we'll see if that holds tonight, and continuing on for the next day tomorrow, and I will let you know what happens, guys. There is so much that I'm just like, I can't even tell you guys, because it was like, it was 8 hours, right? So lots of information, lots to share, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great night. Hey everyone, it's Tasha here from Namastasha. I couldn't really get my computer to work to make another video, so I'm doing this on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't cut me off. But I wanted to really talk about the third day of Theta healing. So day 3, I will first talk about what Theta healing is. Sherry had some questions for me on whether, or like what downloading is, what's the theta brainwave, and stuff like that. So theta, we have a bunch of different brainwaves that we move in and out of. So beta, theta, alpha, and essentially the theta brainwave is during REM sleep. So you'll go to that place, and it's like when you have the rapid eye movement. But you can do that, you can achieve that level of frequency through this technique. So basically, in order to connect that way, you ground down to Mother Earth, you come up, you align all your chakras, you go up and put your consciousness into like a ball above your head, and then you go up past the universe, past the stars, whatever, going up past bright light, dark light, through a jelly-like substance, and then through the window up into the creator of all that it is. So you can name that God, Jesus, Buddha, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it, but basically you're tapping into that. And using the creator to be able to do certain like downloads or cancel programs and stuff like that. So essentially we are organic computers. So from the time we're born, we are like learning like the way the world works, like what's true, what's false type of thing, but we're also creating our reality that way. So if we learn that like money is bad and we must suffer to grow and that type of stuff, and we have those programs in us, then consequently that our life will become that, or we'll manifest that. So maybe a good example of it is like life is hard. So if you believe that, which I'm sure like a lot of us have that programming, that life is difficult, then we want to cancel and clear it, and then download instead into us more positive thinking. So life flows easily for me, so, and then you would command it, and it is done, it's done, it's done, and download that into that person. So I learned through Theta a bunch of different techniques, and I did body scans, and like we did guardian angel readings, we did future readings, we did soul retrieval for soul loss and stuff, a little bit of that, which like you could branch off a lot more with that into actual like shamanic work and stuff, but when we did do that, and releasing negative energies, and bringing back soul fragments that we might have lost, I did this exercise with someone, and man, when I brought back some pieces of her soul, she started to cry, I started to cry, and then I was just filled with like love and joy, and it was a really moving experience, very emotional experience for both of us. So, so that was cool. And I did work with someone else who we did a future reading on each other, and she for sure is a medical intuitive because right away she was, she picked up, oh, you eat lots of fruits and vegetables. I'm like, yep. And then she, not she didn't say lactose intolerance. She didn't say dairy allergies. She said dairy sensitivity, which is what I do have. So it was amazing that she was able to pick up on that. And if we had had more time, she would have like canceled and cleared that and again filled it with something positive. So whenever you are in theta, canceling something, you want to be filling it with something else. So just like I had explained in a different video, when you move your hand, right in its place, air's filling that. There's always something to replace, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be changed, right? So just like we can make water into ice, that kind of stuff, right? But basically, another thing that I had learned that I didn't talk about in the other video is the fact that certain diseases reside in our like emotional body, in the microplasm, I think she called it. And I wish I could go more into that, but basically, when we have those like physical symptoms that it's like no cause, no, reason for it, and it doesn't seem to be affected by food or whatever it is, then that means that it's residing more in thought patterns and emotions that you maybe you're holding on to. It could be stuff too building up from the past, so peeling away the layers. It's like layers of a brick type of thing. So a good example she gave us was like the Jenga game or whatever. So sometimes you can take, if you find the root of the issue, you can take it out from the bottom, and then it all collapses, and then you can heal spontaneously. But this isn't always the case, because sometimes you can pull that piece, but there's all those issues like stacked up on top of it, and somehow it balances out and stays, intact. So sometimes you have to go through layers of it. And again, I had explained the different belief systems, like the soul, the heart, the shoulders, its history, core, genetics, right? Okay. Also, another cool thing that happened over this workshop was the first day when I was gonna go, I saw a little spider in my room, and I mean, it was warming up for a little bit, but it's not at all like springtime, like time for the bugs to come out type thing. So I was really surprised to see him there, and and today actually is really really cold. But anyways, and then I didn't really make too much of it, but I was like, that's cool. And then the second day, so Saturday night, I had the spider actually walking up my bedpost beside me on my bed, and it's really cool because spiders can symbolize strength and also gentleness, but because they weave webs, um, they can they symbolize being able to create your own reality, and that is something that was repeated over and over and over again in this workshop. So we are the creators of our reality, and a symbol like that shows that you're creating it. Your fate is unfolding in front of you, and to also be patient for it because it's manifesting right now. So that was really cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to tell you guys, but I don't really think so. I mean, the last thing that we did in the class was do a download for DNA activation, so for youth and vitality. So we'll see what happens. My skin is still like not like the best right now, but I'm hoping that the certain programs that we did download will help me to heal more spontaneously, heal quicker, faster, have the regeneration quite quickly. So we will see what happens. And right now my symptoms seem to be, again, still pretty calm. It has been most of the weekend, even drinking coffee, but I did still limit that. Because you don't want to go too crazy and jump off the deep end and then hurt yourself, right? So but yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. Yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.